viewers, and welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla. I gotta go do something real quick here because this is really distracting, this Speed 2. I like it. I certainly do, but the problem I have with speed from a beacon is if that beacon is not a full beacon, like this one isn't. Actually, no, wait, it is, if it's giving speed 2, right? It must be. But the problem is, you get out of range of it, and then I don't know, I don't think I actually know what I'm saying here. I'm gonna switch it just for now, because it's distracting, if nothing else. And then I should switch it back when I'm done here, because maybe that's what somebody wants it on. We need to come in here. It is the last day of the year that I'm recording this. This will come out today. What's today? Yeah, this will come out today. So happy Eve, New Year's Eve. We are in the post office. I was in here earlier dropping off some gifts. Well-wrapped gift for Clandle. Place and open. Nobody's got his. Ovi is never going to get his. Unassembled gift for Kane. Pix, you still got your expensive gift. Zloy, your strange gift. Paige, when you get your internet. Digital gift, okay? For Jefferson, Dolan, and Swordfish, I gave just Cole. Just Cole. And I feel bad now because Jeff is back on, and one of his New Year's resolutions is going to be to have weekly episodes. So tell you what, Jeff, you do that, I'll give you a better gift. I'll give you a belated Christmas gift. I already gave a belated gift, I suppose, because I was late. I was before Christmas. But let's see what I got. Somebody gave me back my coal. And a diamond from Cookie. Thank you, Cookie. And Jeff, an emerald block. Wow, an entire emerald block and a stack of leather. And a stack of steak. That's all from Jeff. Yeah, see, his gift is way better. And then Merry Christmas from Pixel Riffs. A set of golden tools. That's so fantastic. You know that gold's, like, useless, right, Pix? And it's unwieldy. Well, I use iron tools. I taught myself how to use iron tools. I suppose I could teach myself how to use gold tools. But I'm never going to make tools out of gold. So it's like these will be the only golden tools I'll ever have in my entire life. Huh. So aside from that, as far as plans go, I don't really have anything planned. We could go around and check in my furnace. Yeah, well, that was it. We could go see if this guy's back here still. And Clandle hasn't got him. Nope. Clandle still hasn't rescued the villager that I trapped for him. We could go up here and see if I still have a tower. I do. Okay. We could go into the Remembery booth. Or the Recall booth. Or the, the place that Clandle made as an excuse to go play a clip of an old video. Maybe we shouldn't do that. We could repair something. We could go down to the base. We could farm our potatoes. That's a good idea. This is how I go down these stairs. Because I'm crazy. There's really no other gifts from nobody. I think I saw somebody put something in here. A fish from Kane. Yeah, I remember now. We'll put this in the sink. I don't know where else that would go. So, end of the year. That's pretty crazy. A whole year, a whole nother year. I've been at this YouTube thing for a while, and I do have a conversation piece on that topic, though I haven't fully formed it in my mind. So I hesitate to begin that conversation now, though it is the perfect conversation for while we're farming. I love YouTube. And for me, YouTube is going nowhere. Don't guess where this conversation is going. You'll be wrong. And I honestly, at one point I cared. I don't care. I have a small community of viewers. And a part of that community that is very strong with interacting with me and going back and forth in the comment section. And even just that small group of people make this worth it for me. My issue with YouTube, my issue with not being a rock star at this point, my issue with not making the money, and I've crunched the numbers. Even if I was doing like 20 times better, I would not be making an amount of money that mattered. If I did something like Patreon, possibly, and I might still look into that. But basically, this is just a hobby. And I'm kind of even wondering whether I should have my videos monetized at all to begin with. Because some people don't mind watching an ad so that I can get some money. But honestly, that one person watching that one ad to quote-unquote help me out, basically, I'm asking them to be subjected to somebody else trying to convince them to buy something that I don't want and they probably don't want, and definitely something they don't need, because if we're going to buy something, we're going to buy it. And for all the effort, what's that gaining me? Like a penny? 2 pennies? I mean, the ad industry, if we want to make them an entity in this conversation, is being parasitic in nature, and I'm asking you to let them be, and they're happy to have my support of them. But it's kind of crazy. So, I mean, thinking about it that way, I don't really want to make it big. The thing is, the amount of time I put into this YouTube thing, I kind of put too much time into it. Time that I should use like spending more time with my family or actually going out and doing things, that sort of thing. So at this point, I, of course, have no intention of quitting YouTube. But I fully understand it's completely a hobby. This is not going to be something that's going to make me money. Not directly. Maybe indirectly, maybe through merchandising, maybe through, I make some sort of subscription list where you can give me your email and I actually find things that legitimately would be interesting to buy. Yeah, see, like I said, I don't really have this conversation fully scripted out. But definitely next year, I'm thinking, my mind has gone all the way from quitting media, just altogether, media for, I forgot a ladder, for a year. Go without media for a year. That's kind of a radical idea. Don't know that I want to do that. It would actually be really difficult to do. There'd have to be a lot of exceptions and rules and kind of just might not work out. To only having one video on my channel that only comes out once a week, just for a while, to kind of refresh, give it a break, that sort of thing. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my equipment. So I don't know, but I need to find a way to treat this more as a hobby. I definitely am going to have less series. Maybe I hate not releasing something on time, so maybe I'll record a series and I won't actually release it till it's done, and then it can have a 2-week schedule or 1-a-week schedule. Oh yeah, there's my tree hunting gear. But I'd love to hear what you think about that in the video description below. Of course, I love to hear your feedback. But yeah, that's what I've been thinking about for this new year. I need to make sure I'm focused on things that are important, and that means I need to make sure I'm utilizing my time correctly. And oh, here's a statistic that I had pre-thought of. Making a single 20-minute video can take anywhere from as short as 30 minutes, and that's ideal situation, right? That's a series where you just record and chop it up into 20-minute increments and call it good. And you have the intro and outro already designed, and it's just pasted in there. It's replicated. And the series is already released, so the description's just in a text file that you're just copy-pasting that over. And you've already decided the schedule, so you have a calendar that says when it's out. Okay, that is ideal situations, although I hate doing that because I like my stuff to be edited. Worst case scenario, I'd say for me, I'm no etho. You're not going to find me spending 10 hours on a 20-minute episode. But worst case scenario, let's say 2 hours. 2 hours for one 20-minute episode. That has happened. Because you play, and then you need a little more time, and you need a little more time, and you're trying to get just the right moment or just the right thing, or blah, blah, blah. And then you have like an hour of footage, most of it which is easy to tell what you want to throw out. Where did all my armor go? Much of which is... I just don't even know. Not good enough. Much of which you have to, like, just really chop down. Because you were completely, totally going on and on about nothing. I need to get some equipment together. But I don't know why, because I'm not going nowhere. Let's just go on a walk. Let's go check on the industrial field. See if we've made any progress there. Yeah, and so it takes an hour to record and maybe 40 minutes to edit, agonizing over the details, trying to figure out which parts to cut, which parts to keep, practically watching the whole thing as you're recording just to make sure you didn't cut it at some awkward point where you're talking about trees 1 second and then water the next, or some other example that makes more sense. And I love editing. It's fun, but it's just time. And then if you're trying to do 3 or 4 series at a time, it's like, ugh, I want at least one video to come out every day. Well, that might not be possible. All right, let's see. Let's take stock of what we have, what we need to work on in the next year. So we have this area, and I think I have enough equipment to build the rest of these. And the idea of these big machines is to turn wood into charcoal. And then we have this little sad excuse of a tree farm to get our wood. And then we turn our wood into charcoal, and then we use the charcoal for torches and for our mine system, which still needs some work. And that's all we have in this area. I'm not sure what else this should be, but this looks like it's becoming an industrial area, so any other kind of machines or devices that we want to build. Then right next to us, we have a tiny little Clandle village popping up. On the previous server, Clandle kind of ran off and made his own little village. On this server, he is kind of making his village close to everything, which I actually prefer, because that means we get to interact with it, be part of the group. Got this little wall going up for safety. Got a couple buildings popped up. The discussion hall. Oh my gosh. They're holding some kind of meeting without Clandle. Except for this guy. He just ran off and they must have said something he didn't like. Well, that's interesting. I thought they only had discussions when Clandle was here, but I guess they'd get bored if that was the case. So we have our industrial area and our main village, and in between it we have some buildings from Clandle. Don't know what importance that holds, but it could hold some importance. And in the town we have our hunter shop, which is being run by Frank, so we don't need to worry about that. And we haven't really done any huntery things recently. So we might look into expanding our abilities, our horizons, our interests. Maybe go for some kind of magic angle or some kind of chemical angle, since there's probably more than enough magic folk on the server already. Perhaps explore the world of, I don't want to call it chemical. I mean, that sounds bad. That sounds like we're doing something illegal. Chemistry? Science? Oh, let's just call it science. Might develop our science skills in the ways of redstone and chemical interactions and that sort of thing. I don't know. We can do whatever we want. That's the whole point of this thing, right? It's open-ended, open world. All right, so this episode was not very episode-y. It was more of, let's look at what we got for Christmas. Yay, Christmas! Let's talk a little bit about what's coming next year. Yay, next year! And, let's think about real life together, because, you know, for fun. But until next time, this has been bRanN. Thank you all so much for being part of my little mini community. I look forward to see what we do together in the new year. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day.